Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today I'm going to kind of continue off of last Sunday's show that we did in a little bit of a different spin. So last Sunday, if you missed it, we did the episode of me asking for your input, what you wanted to see for Bugout Weekend. I wanted your thoughts, your ideas, your advice, everything surrounding that. And I got really good feedback, which if you missed it and you have ideas, please let me know. I would rather enjoy it. But I think what I'm going to do, because it's coming up quite quick, I think there's only 6 or 7 Sundays until Bugout Weekend. So I am going to take each one of those and I'm going to showcase an item that I have purchased. It's going to be brand new. We're going to just kind of show it and go over it and different things so you can keep an lookout for when I go to Bugout Weekend. So the very, very first one that I wanted to do, which is going to be a very interesting way to do this, is I went ahead and we've done these shows before where somebody has sent me those little survival kits from Wish and things like that. I went and bought a big one. I really wanted to kind of see. I think this one was like 25 bucks. So I bought this. Probably, I don't know. We'll see. It's quite big. It's quite heavy. I probably should have waited. I would say that this is at least probably 5+ pounds, 6 pounds, which everything that I'm going to be carrying with me, this is probably a whole bunch of unnecessary weight. But let's tear into this. I won't go into every single item, but you will get an idea. So first off, this is quite bigger than, or quite a bit bigger than what we have got in the past. So as you can see, this is a pretty decent size. You did get this patch with it, and it does come with a little thing to let you know that there is medical in there. I did go ahead and pre-open this because I didn't want to sit there and take time in a whole bunch of wrappers and things like that. Plus, when I get to Bugout Weekend, I don't want to carry a bunch of trash. So I did open up. I did go ahead and use some of the stuff. So some of the things that came in there is this piece right here, which let me take it off so that way you get to see what I am talking about. And the first thing is this right here, which if you do not know what this is a hook and loop and comes with the snap right there. But you unclasp this splits in the middle, and then this goes around like a soda or a water bottle or juice bottle. It goes in there, you clip it, and you put this on your belt or whatever, and then that way you got a hands-free way to carry around whatever you are drinking. Um, right now, this is kind of holding on my little flashlight. I'm not very impressed with this. This feels extremely cheap. Um, I have not put batteries. It's not rechargeable, which I'm also not a big fan of. It doesn't take very many. I think it's 3 AAA to do this. But it is LED, so once I put batteries in there, it should last, quite a while off that. But it feels very, very cheap. It's extremely, extremely light. We will see. We'll put this through, um, kind of the runner and see if this thing lasts. I'm kind of afraid that if this thing falls from a distance or maybe even gets wet or something like that, that this is probably not going to last very long actually out in the field. So the next thing that came with it is, and watch, I won't be able to get this thing back out of here. Oh, I'm just going to show it where it is. There's a little mini flashlight. You can see it's smaller than my finger. Again, not rechargeable, does take batteries. So I'm not already a huge fan. I do like this extra strap right here. That's kind of a fun thing that I haven't seen in a whole lot. Granted, the fabric feels pretty decent on this. It feels pretty thick. It's probably a decent canvas. but it feels a little cheap, like if you overstuff this, that something is going to rip or tear at the seams, or probably the zipper. Now, just by opening it up, this thing is packed full of all sorts of stuff. So to go in and start pulling some of this stuff out, the first thing is going to be a poncho, which you get the glare on there so you can't see. Just your average run-of-the-mill poncho. If it rains, we'll be able to test that out and see if that actually gets put to use. This, however, is very fun. Now, there's not really a whole bunch of English, as you can see on this thing, but this is basically a smartphone dry pouch. So you put your smartphone in there. It comes with little clasps and everything. I will probably try and test this out beforehand. Um, put something that I don't care about, some old cell phone or whatever. You're supposed to be able to touch through there. I'm not entirely sure yet. But again, it'll be one of them things. If it rains, we'll be able to do what we can to try and test some of that out. There is your emergency blanket that comes in just about every single survival kit. Next is a emergency shelter. We might, we might throw this up just to see, if it can work, depending on time and all sorts of other things. It is 8 foot by 5 foot and does come with 20 feet of cord. That cord is extremely cheap. You'll probably break it with your hands, but we'll see. If we have time, we'll go ahead and set this up and test it out. I'm not going to be sleeping in this, but there's that. Let's see. Next, you get this, which I am excited to use. We'll probably find something to see if we can chop through some stuff. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. We'll maybe do like the tent stakes and some other stuff. Maybe find a rock or something just to see if this thing splinters or how it holds up. And then you have to take off the little thing here, and it does open up. I don't know much of how we're going to be able to test that part out, but if we get the chance and we find something, we will. As well as it does come with a whole bunch of little tools. We'll test the knife, we'll test the saw. Does have a file and a different saw blade and whatnot, but we'll see how this goes and see if it holds up. It's pretty heavy. It's probably the heaviest thing in this whole pack, so there is hope that maybe it will hold up, so we'll see. Let's see what is next that is in here. This thing is loaded with all sorts of little pouches and whatnot, little nooks and crannies. This we can test out, which I just dropped the handle to, but this is one of those kind of like a pick and a shovel. I just dropped the handle, so I'm sure you all know what a handle looks like, but it's just one of those little survival shovels. So we'll go ahead and put that back into the pouch there, and that'll be an easy one to test out. We'll see if everything holds and doesn't strip out, break apart, and things like that. They were very, very proud about that thing. So let's see, what else do we got in here. We do have a survival knife. It's one of those extremely flat ones right there. I tell you what, this is actually pretty daggone sharp. Piece of paper right here. I will tell you, I was playing with this thing, and it's pretty impressively daggone sharp for coming out of one of them cheap made in China things. So we'll test that out. As you saw, it just went right through the paper pretty easily. So, but there you go. We got one of those. Let's see what's next in here. They did give you a first aid kit. I kind of went through it. It's kind of very generic and basic. It's basically an over glorified boo-boo kit, if you will. I'm not going to pull everything out of here. It's mainly cheap gauze that you probably shouldn't use. There is actual Band-Aid brand Band-Aids in here, which I found interesting. There's some alcohol wipes and just some other odd and end stuff. So I will probably, I don't know if I'll modify this one and take a few extra things, or if I'll just put it in the bare fac. I may just leave that alone so I don't get them confused on what's what. We do get a utensil here, which is quite interesting because it's basically a spork. It is aluminum, not plastic. This piece is plastic, the handle, and the reason why is because they decided to put a whistle on it. So I don't know why you would do that. I mean, a spork is a spork. It's going to work. You get cheap plastic ones that work at fast food. This is aluminum, so I don't see why it wouldn't work. But I guess you blow the whistle if it's a good meal, or I don't know, or I don't know who gets in trouble while they're eating that they need to whistle. But there you go. Let's see, what else do we have? They did give 2 glow sticks, which that'll be pretty simple to make sure that those actually work. And then we got another whistle that is up here, as well as a locking carabiner. And I tell you, this is probably the cheapest. Um, my kid, Little Rural, has one of these for his toy, and it feels better than this. This thing is horrible. Um, it's I'll show you when we get out to the field. This thing is probably going to have a ton of different problems. Let's see, they did give out a little length of paracord, and this kind of looks like cheap paracord, but it's paracord nonetheless. Next is we got one of them, and I hate these. These are probably one of the worst things ever. Survival saws. So we'll grab a piece of wood somewhere and see if we can't get that. We do have some fire tender. We'll be able to get a knife out and test that out, see if we can't chop some. There's another one. So they gave you a couple pieces. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's another one. Oh, yes. So they gave you 4 in total in here, as well as a rod and a striker. We'll see if this goes. I don't know why they continue to try and make these strikers. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a ruler right there, a bottle opener. They try and put a whole bunch of stuff on there. I don't know because, again, this is not made here in America, so it goes up to 45 centimeters. So I'm not entirely sure what is so important to measure to make sure it's within 45 centimeters, but it is what it is. We got it. We'll see. We did get this for some reason. This is cheap little string. I don't know why they put it in here. What else did we get? We did get, if I can pull some of this other stuff out of here, they did give us this card, which is another one of the ones I hate. These little survival credit card things. I don't know how much we're actually going to be able to test it. It does have a little bit of a razor edge we can try. The saw blade we can try. I don't know if I'm going to take anything that's going to need a can opener, or that I'm taking anything apart to try and do any of this. So this may be just, I don't know, useless weight. I may go through some of this stuff and either put it on the free table to see if somebody else wants it, or I may just not pack it at all to try and conserve some of the weight. But this is kind of interesting. This is a really, really cheap compass. And actually, from where I am sitting, north is that direction. So if I put this right there and hold it still for a minute, it's pretty good. It's only off by maybe 10 degrees or so, which the magnetic north and true north is off by about 10 degrees. But I like that you can rotate this so you can get your bearing. So that'd be kind of interesting to take it out and just play with it. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get lost on where I'm going. As well as a tiny little fishing kit. I know the glare's horrible, but there you go. We can try and test some of that stuff out. There is a pond out there that is fully stocked and whatnot. So who knows? Maybe if I get some of the free time, we'll be able to go out there and play around and see if we can't catch a fish. But to show you the inside of the bag, it does have this fold-out zipper pouch, which drops down and covers that inner layer. Move this out of the way. You do get 2 straps right here, as well as a pouch right there. And then if I flip it around, this does come with, again, more of the strap webbing. and this Velcro that holds this protective pouch. So, I mean, all in all, if you unfold this, you could put a lot of stuff in here. Now, granted, I wouldn't put a whole bunch of things that I would depend my life on when it comes to something like this, because this is, again, it feels cheap, and what do you expect? We got all this stuff for $25 and free shipping. So, take that for what it is. One, they had to pay for shipping, so even just take a couple of dollars off there, and they had to make a profit. So you're telling me that even if you paid the $5 in shipping, that takes it down to $20, and they had to make a profit. So I mean, let's just say that it's $19 worth of stuff. So it's I don't expect much out of it, but it's going to be one thing to actually take a lot of this stuff out into the field and test. Some of the stuff, like this, crack it open at nighttime. If it glows, guess what? It's going to get a passing score. It's going to be hard for some of this stuff. The same thing with the utensils. I don't find this thing is going to break or anything. Now we might get some sort of surprise. Maybe this plastic handle is going to break off. Maybe this thing will rust or something the first time that I wash it or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's an odd shape. We'll find out. We'll put it to the test and see. So some of the stuff, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Um, you know, this, I'm pretty sure it's going to work. We'll see how it goes. Some of the stuff like this, I don't know how we're really going to test some of that in the short amount of time that I have while I'm there. But we'll go through and we'll do as much of the testing as we possibly can, and we'll do it for real. We'll actually really test the stuff, so that way we can see, are you one of those people that bought one of these, or maybe got gifted one of these, or was thinking about buying one of these, and see, is it really worth the money and the trouble? Um, Granted, if all you have is $25 for the year, some of this is usable. Okay. I mean, hands down, whether you like it or not, uh, some of it's going to work. It just is. The paracord, I'm going to be able to tie it and it's going to hold something. Again, the utensil, it's going to work. Granted, you probably could go through and buy a paracord and these utensils and some of the stuff for a lot cheaper, and just buy it separately than getting a whole kit. But, some of this, if you went to some sort of a dollar store and bought a poncho and paracord and maybe the plastic utensils and things like that, you might end up coming close to that $20 threshold anyway. And this, you're just going to get extra supplies with it. So is it something that I would recommend? No, I definitely would not recommend this. There's much better things out there and different ways to go about it. If you do buy this, is it something that you're going to watch this video or watch when I field test it, you're just going to go and throw it in the trash? No, I wouldn't. Just because you wouldn't use it doesn't mean it's not something that is a backup. Will this thing cut? We'll find out. Most of the time, it's extremely rough to cut with these things. The cheap ones, they do make better ones, but I'm not a fan of these style or method of sawing. But we'll see. Will it cut? Yeah, it's going to cut some. Will it cut all the way through? It might. Is it going to break? Probably, but we'll see how it goes. But in a pinch, if you needed it, could you get it to work? Yeah, probably could. Is it something that you can use as a barter item? Throw it in with some stuff. Maybe you're trying to get something, and maybe this is that little kind of sweeten the deal. Hey, you know what? I've got two or three of these. Um, in good faith, I'm going to throw them out there, and you can have them. It's one of them that it might somebody might love them. Somebody might have a different way of using them than I do, and they have really good luck with them, and they want them. So we'll see. Same thing with the fishing kit. If you don't have a fishing kit, there you go. I mean, look how small that is compared to my hand. Um, find a stick or find something. Technically, you don't even need a stick, to be honest, but you got everything right there. You got hook, sinkers, line, different lure of a bait, and different things like that. So we'll be able to go out there and test it out and see if it works. If you don't have it, there you go. Now you've got a little kind of pocket fishing thing. If you already have stuff like that, again, this is a great barter item, or give to somebody as they're just starting out. Hey, they don't have the money or the finances, and they don't have a fishing kit. You can go, you know what? There you go. Get them started. It's something. Something is better than nothing when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I know there's a lot of people out there that hate me saying that, but again, if you had this in your pocket and you were out and pretty hungry, it'd be one of those things that this gives you a chance. Is it going to 100% going to work? No, there is no 100%, but it gives you a chance versus you have absolutely nothing. And I know you'll probably get those people, well, I can fashion a hook and I can take the line out of my bootlaces. And yeah, you could. And you may catch a fish. And if you do, bravo, hats off to you. That's awesome. But this person has this. They actually have actual fishing line and an actual hook. They have a chance. A lot of this is it's that something is better than nothing. You have that line of you have no fishing kit or you have no flashlight or any of this stuff. This at least puts you over the bar. You have something. It gives you a fighting chance. So I'm not going to defend it, but I'm also not going to bash it. There's definitely better alternatives out there than all of this stuff. And a lot of this you can repurpose. Maybe you go through this and you go, wow, 90% of this is junk. Great. Put it away, do something with it, whatever, and use this and repack, your own little boo boo kit. This is a perfect thing to fit in like your glove box because even though, again, this kind of feels a little on the cheap side, um, right now, look at it. It's holding bandages and alcohol wipes and stuff. Something like this you could repurpose and do. The knife was fairly sharp and could cut. There's a lot of this stuff. I'm sure the poncho is going to shed water. Is it going to hold up for weeks on end? No, probably not. It looks like a disposable, 1-2 time use, and it's kind of done. Am I confident the shovel is going to be able to break ground and dig? Yeah, it's going to. How long is it going to last and hold up? Guess that's what we're going to find out, right? We're going to go through each Sunday, and I'll showcase a different item just like I did here of what I am taking with me and what you can look forward to me field testing. We've got a bunch of different things that I have bought and have. I still have more packages coming in the mail, so we'll have some fun with it. But that's what I've got for you guys today. If you have any more ideas of things that you would like to see me test out or think that I am missing or anything along those lines, just leave it down in the comment section or send me an email, and this will be a fun time. So, with that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. With that, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.